Hi, my name's Damien from Insync Technology. I'm Practice Manager, Unified Comms. Look after the team of UC professionals here. A little bit about me. So I am based in Melbourne. Originally from Hobart. I've travelled and lived around Australia a little bit. So went from Hobart to Brisbane, back down to Melbourne where I am now. But of course, still enjoy coming up to Brisbane and spend time with the greater Insync team. I finished uni in Hobart in 2007, and my degree at the time was actually accounting information systems, to very cool things. My first job interview was at Department of Treasury, which I didn't get, and my second interview was at a company called Logica, which was an outsourced IT company, so help desk IT. To be honest, I wasn't an IT nerd from years back. I didn't own a computer till 2001. It was the first time I had a computer. Around the same time Napster came about, so read into that as you will. So yeah, that was my first IT job. So I spent about a year there looking after various, mainly utility services companies around Australia, before moving on to another company where I picked up a lot of my telephony skill set, as well as getting into the Microsoft world. So that was really my baptism of fire into kind of really specialised unified comms work. From there, there are not many steps in this story. It was on to Insync. So joined Stuart and Nathan, two of the other founders of Insync. I was the last one to join, so I joined about 6 months or so after the company was founded, and my job was to start the UC practice effectively, or build out the UC practice and just provide some skill set there. Yeah. Look, as a unified communication specialist, probably pretty obvious that that's what I'm most passionate about. I would say that it wasn't planned. Like, I never woke up one day and said I'm going to be a unified communications consultant or understand telephony or anything. It was really a kind of, things just kind of happen that way. But since working in that environment and being a Microsoft certified master in unified comms, kind of not pigeonholes you, but kind of means that you spend a lot of your time working in that area. And it was an added bonus that's what I'm most passionate about as well. If I'm looking at kind of the more kind of high level holistic perspective, I'd say the biggest issue we see when we're talking to customers or when we first engage with customers is there might be some confusion around traditional IT versus cloud, or I've seen deployments that have been done in-house that haven't been conformed to best practices or something like that. It's fairly high level, I suppose, but that's probably the most common way that we get involved. We have from time to time been involved in what I like to call firefighting, where a customer has approached unified communications or had a go at unified communications, and have hit some issues, because it still happens to be quite a deep skill set, deep and narrow. So a lot of the time we'll come in and do full health checks of the environment and find maybe a whole lot of little things, but together put all those things together and users are having a bad user experience effectively. So that's probably a bit of an overview of the main things that I see. I could get right down into the little gritty granular stuff, but probably not that useful. Where we add the most value at the beginning of the engagement is educating the customer on what's actually possible. If you talk to a customer and they've never seen unified communications before, to a lot of people it's a telephone system. I've got a telephone system, I want to replace it with a telephone system. It's at that point where it's really valuable to the client to come in and say, well, yes, there's a telephone system component, but there's all this other stuff as well. So where I see us adding a lot of value at Insync, from the UC team, is being able to kind of educate the customer on what's possible, and then kind of work backwards from that. So here's a vision for your organisation. You'll hear the term digital transformation thrown around quite a lot. I think it's done to death a little bit, the term, but what that generally means is forget about the IT for a sec and let's look at how people actually work. Let's think about how people actually interface with the company and their peers and where they're working from and all these other things, and then work back to the technologies that enable that, but also ensure that things like security are taken into account and usability. Favorite part about working at Insync? I would have to say, I mean, as one of the initial kind of founders, we did this because we saw an opportunity to do things better, and we saw an opportunity to do things in a way that would make customers happier, but at the same time allow us to work in an environment that we want to work in. Working in an environment that you actually want to work in, not coming to work every day and feeling like it's just doing the same old thing over and over again. Yeah. So that's an easy question. It'd be a time machine for sure. I'm sure a lot of people have probably given that answer already, but you know, who wouldn't want the ability to go back and tweak anything they wanted? I don't know if I can add much more to that. That's probably it. I think it'd have to be Superman. I think he'd have a greater repertoire at his fingertips than Skywalker. I think they both make good products. I think Microsoft still makes more sense from a business perspective, but no one can deny that Apple make really good consumer products. You know, I'm obviously a Microsoft consultant. I use an iPhone. I had a Windows phone for a good couple of years, and I actually quite liked it, but being locked out of the app ecosystem kind of was a death knell for me. It was actually me buying a smartwatch and didn't have an app on the Windows phone that kind of made me switch from Windows to Apple. I like them both as for different reasons. I've got a cat. His name's Newman. Seinfeld fans, obviously. He's great. He's more like a dog. He'll fetch stuff and he can rub his belly, and he's good value. So myself and my partner, it's just us two and the cat in the house, so he gets a lot of attention. Boneless Malaysian fried chicken. Yeah, it's my feel good food. Stressful day, Malaysian fried chicken. That's fantastic. At the moment, as ridiculous as it sounds, it'd probably be Donald Trump, purely so that I can correlate, what he says with what he would actually say in person. I think that would be really amazing. Not because I feel like I would, absorb some kind of amazement from him or something like that. It purely just for interest's sake.